You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, guys. I'm so sorry. It has been a struggle trying to get a room here at the Bhakti Manor because all the rooms are booked up. At the moment, I've actually hijacked a spot. Someone was studying there and they're not in the room. So I've literally just hijacked them. And then when they come through, I'm going to have to mute myself and apologize and beg for their forgiveness. So my apologies, guys. Literally all the rooms have been booked, hence why I'm so late. Hare Krishna. Sorry, Anuj, please forgive me. I'm sure I've made it difficult for you today. Hare Krishna. Jai, alrighty. Okay, so no, I need to get to see you guys first. Haribo, please, guys. The least you can do is let me see your faces so I can feel so bad because I've let you all down today. Today I've been a disappointment. Considering it's actually our last session together, this is terrible. Or our last session for this series, rather. This is terrible behavior from my side, and I greatly do apologize. I'll begin with the Mangala Charan. I'm sure Anuj Prabhu must have let you know that today we wanted to be more of a Q&A session. So I'm just going to leave it open to any questions that you guys might have on the philosophy, on different things. And then also any suggestions or ideas of different things you'd want us to discuss or dive deep into. Probably we could be able to do a little bit of that today. And yeah, then, we can finish off in a nice blissful way, even though I started in such a disappointing way. But yeah, I'm sure you guys can find it in your hearts to forgive me because you're Vaishnavas, and Vaishnavas are the sweetest. All right, so I'm going to begin with the Mangala Charan. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostite Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. One more time, everyone. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I definitely needed to do that because I was just running, like I called Anuj when I was running from room to room like a madman. So my head and my mind was all over the place. But as soon as I got to chant these mantras, I kind of managed to settle down a bit. And that's one of the powers of these vibrations, is that you could have so many disturbances going through, so many disturbances around you, trying to deal so many things at once. You probably got essays, deadlines, this thing or that thing to do. But when we recite the vibrations of the acharyas, glorifying the acharyas, these powerful Vedic mantras, it puts us in a state of calmness. This Mangala Chan, how many people know the Mangala Chan in full? Anyone? Oh, there we go. Brinda knows. That's great. Jaimika knows as well. Hedby knows. That's awesome. Try to learn these mantras. They're really, really powerful. These mantras go through a series of personalities from the spiritual master all the way up to Radha and Krishna. And then the devotees, and then Radha and Krishna in the Maha Mantra. So it journeys through every person. The spiritual master, like Srila Prabhupada, who's giving us knowledge, all the way up to, the denizens of Vrindavan, all the way up to Krishna himself with the gopis, all the way up to Radharani, who's serving Krishna with full attention. All the personalities in our line, up until the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are glorified in these mantras. So my challenge for all of you would be the next time I get to meet you guys. I don't know when the gang, Niam and Anuj, will invite me next, especially after my late arrivals today. But hopefully I could get the chance to share with you guys. I'll get to hear from you guys sharing for me the vibrations of the mantra. 1 second, someone's sorry, I'm having to explain myself. Why are you in my room? I'm supposed to be doing my study here. Why did you show up without uninvited? I'll probably get a few more people telling me that, but anyway. So I know these mantras, these vibrations, they're powerful. So my challenge for you, as I was mentioning, is that you should learn these mantras, and then whenever Niam and squad decide to bring me back again, one of you guys will be reciting the mantras to invoke the auspiciousness of the personalities. It could be quite cool just to get to hear you guys recite these mantras. So probably Brinda, you said I might challenge you to do it because your camera is on, or Jaimika as well. Kushi, did you say you know the mantras also? Yeah? You know the mantra's perfect. Yeah. So one of you guys prepare yourselves. Probably Casey as well might jump on it for the first time, and then we'll get to hear him. Jai. So for this session, I wanted it to be something a little bit different. I've been talking a lot. I'm the one who's been bringing up these topics and just like randomly sharing different things. But I wanted to hear from you guys and have you guys share with me any questions or anything that you guys. So I'm kind of keeping this as like an open Q&A forum. You don't even need to type your questions, unmute yourself and just have a chat with me. And let's discuss something spiritual, something on the realms of Krishna consciousness. By the time you guys are thinking of something, I got this interesting book that's by a personality known as Bhakti Swami. And I was told it's a good book. I've not read it yet, but I was just told I could, get something random from any of the pages and we can chant something powerful. So first of all, if anyone has any questions before I do this, or if anyone's thinking of any questions, please unmute yourself, share with me something, any comments or anything that you might have that you'd want me to grow from, to inspire me as well in my spiritual life, go ahead. Otherwise, we can start by just hearing a few things from this wonderful literatures. Apparently, this book is from the teachings of a book known as Harinam Chintamani, which is like the gemstones of the holy name. So wait, I think some messages are coming through. Oh, okay, so okay, good. Some questions are coming in. Oh, and my name says Ian and Lucas, but I'm by myself. You all must be wondering, who the hell is Lucas? Who is this Lucas guy? Okay, no, I'm by myself. So the first question that's come in is, what does the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra actually translate to? I don't know if anyone knows this. Someone? Does anyone know this? If you know this, unmute your mic. and probably share it with us. I think Adi knows it. His face looks like he knows it. Adi, you don't have to type it down. Just unmute your mic and tell me, what does the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra actually translate to?
Prabhu, I don't know it. That's the thing.
What do you mean? You know it, bro.
I don't know it.
Alrighty, okay, fine. So the Hare Krishna mantra has 3 names: Hare, Krishna, and Rama. Okay. Headby has put something on, but she sent it to me privately, which is more or less the essence of what the Maha Mantra means. But you got Hare, Krishna, and Rama. Hare is one of the names of Radharani, Hari, she's, the supreme beloved. And then Krishna, as we know, is the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. And then Rama, what does Rama mean? The reservoir of all pleasure. So when you're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, you're saying, oh Radharani, the supreme divine female. Oh Krishna, the reservoir of all pleasure, all attractive supreme personality, please engage me in your devotional service. Let me utilize myself and my being in whatever ways and capacities I can in order to serve you and those that mean something to you, which is basically the entire planet. So let me be an object of devotional service for you. So basically, that's what we mean when we're chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. We're asking, yo, I want to be engaged. I want to feel like I'm serving you, Krishna. I want to, do something valuable for you. Engage me in your service. The only way I can know what I need to do is if I actually hear what I need to do from you, because you're the one who can tell me. So please engage me in your service. Connect me. Let me understand what I need to do to please you. And when we chant this mantra with sincerity, with focus, and with attention, what does Krishna do? Krishna creates an arrangement where you can learn and understand how to get closer to him. Because I know a majority of the guys who are here in the group are probably, from I could say, quote unquote, either devotee background or Hindu background. How many guys were familiar to do with Krishna, but never really knew what it meant? Show of hands, like, oh, we do this service, we do this thing, we do that thing, oh yeah, at times, when there's an arti or something, we do arti in the house and we recite certain mantras, we probably were serving different demigods. So you probably didn't really have much knowledge or information of what the realities of the practice mean. So it was more ritualistic rather than transformative, in the sense that it gave you an inner message, the essence, the nectar from the practice. But then when you started chanting Hare Krishna, somehow or other, you got put in association of those trying to cultivate the same knowledge. You got given the knowledge of the Gita in a much more clearer form. You got to understand the essence of all these Vedic practices. What's the essence? That they're getting us to dive into devotional service and serve Lord Vishnu. And by serving Vishnu, by serving Krishna, we can attain perfection within our lives. So when you're chanting the Maha Mantra, that's what you're asking for. Oh, I'm in trouble. That's what you're asking Krishna to do, to engage you in the service. Yeah, Adi adds, yeah, oh energy of the Lord, oh my Lord, please engage me in your loving service. Exactly, that's basically it. So you see, Adi, you knew it. Why were you pretending that you didn't know it? I knew you knew it, you rascal. Hare Krishna. Another question came. So our poet, Jamika, asked, what does chanting mean to you? Interesting question. I mean, I'm not even advanced. What do you mean very advanced? I'm not advanced at all to be giving deep realizations on what the Maha Mantra is about. But basically, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra kind of calms my mind, gives me some state of peace. My mind is like a train, like the noise like those old time choo-choo trains used to make, like choo-choo. That's like my mind constantly, with different thoughts, different forms of disturbances, different ideas, can never be steady, can never be calm. If someone upsets me, 50 days are, invested in just cursing this person in my head, wishing them all the negative things that I can. My mind is a crazy place. And so I take to chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra to kind of control these disturbances, control these extraneous things that are bombarding my mind, to get me fixed on Krishna and on what actually is the essence of life. Because we've got to understand that the essence of life is serving Krishna and connecting with him and loving him and going back to him rather than staying here in this place, which is, can be a little bit too much. People are trying to, find happiness in this world, but it's so difficult. So it helps me calm my mind. It gives me some form of happiness. It puts me in association of lovely, wonderful people like yourselves. I get to be around you guys. It was so cool. Look at Anuj. I just like Anuj is like the epitome of cool. He just has like a cool vibe. Look at his hair. He's just like so chilling. Like I would have wanted to be his friend in school. So I get to have such dope association. Advanced people like yourselves, Jamaica. I'm chilling with a poet. So like such dope association with you guys, and that's all thanks to the Maha Mantra and also getting to dive deep into Vedic knowledge. And it's a powerful thing about chanting. Let's see if we can find something here. So so this is from the book. At the back, it says, chanting gradually diminishes the propensity to sin and simultaneously purifies the consciousness. At this juncture, the taste for chanting begins to manifest and the inclination to commit sinful activities vanishes. And so just like as I was saying, like I chant the Maha Mantra and it gets my mind out of like the sinful thoughts, the disturbing thoughts, the wrong thoughts, and gets me on a positive plane, positive consciousness. And I'm sure you guys probably have experienced that as well. I don't know if anyone would like to share what chanting does for them. Anuj, would you want to tell us what chanting does for you? We did it. We chanted around together a while ago. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Tell us, what does chanting do for you?
It kind of improves my mood for the day. If I do it in the evening, I'll have a great night's sleep. If I do it in the morning, my day will just seem better.
Jai, nice. So it creates like a much more positive atmosphere, and that's its power. Because Krishna is always positive. He's a supreme positive. He connecting with Krishna guarantees the best out of our day and out of our lives. And so even if you're to try and see the day when you invest some time in your chanting, you'll notice that your day is much smoother, much more blissful, much more fulfilling. You enjoy your days. At times you think chanting is long, isn't it? Like, oh man, I have to do 108. Bro, 108 is too much, man. Can I just slice them in half, And you're holding your bead bag and you're like, oh, there are times I'm usually like this. I'm like, oh my God, I have to sit down for 2 hours and chant. But then once you get into the flow of it, once you get into the vibe of it, then chanting becomes so nice. And you can even do it for like hours and hours, because it really makes your day, your time, everything much better. Thank you for sharing that, Anuj. Anyone else want to share? Janavi, would you want to tell us what chanting does for you?
Well, I chant every morning, and so I think it like helps me like make the day better in a way, and it sets like my mood, so it's really good in that way.
Nice. It's a mood stimulant as well. Thank you for sharing. I know I put you on the spot there, but that's great. I'm putting all of you guys on the spot today. Today's my casual chit chat with you guys. So yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it does put you in a positive mood. It does. It's like a mood booster as well, chanting the holy names. And it's powerful. We have access to a mood booster. Do you know outside in the world, people are looking for happiness in different ways. To increase their mood, they're looking for the wrong things. But we get the holy name and we can dive deep into it and actually connect with it nicely. So thank you for sharing. Jai, I don't know if anyone else has any questions. Those are the only 2 questions that have come in so far. Aha. So someone's asking, should you read simpler books by Prabhupada before starting to properly read the Gita and Bhagavatam? Interesting question. Well, to answer this question, can I say who you are? Yeah, Casey. Casey asked a good question. Thank you, Casey. That's a nice question. So this all depends on how much you're ready to take. Prabhupada created those small books to convince us to read the Gita. So if you read the Gita, then automatically you've done the job of all the 4 books, all the small books combined. Because his objective was to get you to dive into the Bhagavad Gita, to dive into Srimad Bhagavatam, to dive into Chaitanya Charitamrita, and soak in their essence. I know devotees. I don't know if you guys know a devotee called Abhay. He's a cool Mudanga player. He's one of my good friends. He's like my younger brother. And Abhay, he's reading through the Gita at the moment, going through the Gita. But with his family, they went through just the translation of Srimad Bhagavatam. And he can tell you stories from Srimad Bhagavatam already. I've not even read through Srimad Bhagavatam. But he can tell you stories on Srimad Bhagavatam. He can tell you, oh, this pastime happened in the third canto, this pastime happened in the fifth canto, you know. So however way, in whichever ways you can connect to the Gita and Bhagavatam especially, whichever ways you can connect to them, do it. If you feel interested, you want to dive deep, do it. I'm not saying that the other books are not important, but it's a good way to kind of just get yourself into the knowledge. And you will want to read the rest of the books also. It becomes an interesting journey. You'll want to go through them. You know, my mentor, Sena Prabhu, he says that you only read a book once when you're picking it up for the third time. So you properly read a book when you're picking it up for the third time. At times you think, like, you know, we used to have this book, this magazine. I don't know if you guys know it. It was called Archie. Do you guys know of Archie? We used to have Archie. We used to have Dennis the Menace. And we used to like read these magazines, but you just read it once and throw it away. And if you're to ask me what the stories in these books were, I can't tell you because I just read them once and moved on to the next series. But with the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, you read them once. When you go through them again, you get different gems. And it's actually a mystical experience that you can read the same statement, but the next time when you read it, you're getting such a whole new transformative realization that didn't even occur to you in the first time. I can give an example. Who knows the first mantra of the Bhagavad Gita? Someone. It doesn't have to be in Sanskrit. You can even just tell me the English translation. Anyone? And don't open an extra tab trying to look at it real quick, being all sly. Anuj, I see you. Who knows what the first verse is? Anyway, so I can tell you. The first verse is Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yutsava mamaka pandavascheva kimakurvata sanjaya. So Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, in this Dharma kshetra, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, what's happening between my sons and the sons of Pandu? When I read it for the first time, that's all I understood. Yeah, he's just asking, okay, what's up? What's going on? You know? The second time when I read it, and I was going through the purport, because I read it the first time I went through the purport. The second time when I read it and I was going through it, I understood, actually, he's saying Dharma Kshetra because he's acting in an unreligious way. And this battlefield of Kurukshetra is a place of Dharma, so he knows he's going to lose. The third time I read it, I mean, there were so many things, but yeah, so it's a place of Dharma, so he knows he's going to lose. The next time I read it, he's saying, my sons and the sons of Pandu, when they're actually all related. They're all actually basically sons, or they're all his sons to some extent because their father left their body. So he's distinguishing between his birth sons and the sons of the Pandavas, trying to form more enmity. When I first read it, that was the only thing I read, you know, Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, you know. He's telling Sanjaya, because Sanjaya has Divya Chakshush, divine vision. He can see because he's a pure devotee of Krishna. And so if we become pure devotees of Krishna, we can also get divine vision. You know, all that's coming from the first verse. That the same way he's concerned about the outcomes, the word Dhritarashtra means occupying somebody else's land. He's occupied the land of the Pandavas, so therefore he's scared. And because he can't see, because Dhritarashtra is blind, he's asking for someone with proper vision to see what's going on in the true reality. The next time I read it, Dhritarashtra is blind. And so he's blind to the proper institutions of Dharma. He's blind to the realities. So that's why he's been making mistakes all throughout his time, as we learn in the Mahabharata. All these things are coming from the more and more you revisit. So you read something in the Shastra, But then the next time you read it, boom, another thing hits you. The next time you read, you're thinking, oh man, I know what's going to happen. But boom, another thing hits you. You're like, woo, where did that come from? And you get all these different realizations. So you need to go through them as much as possible. If you can, start diving into it. I know some of you guys are diving into it already. Just dive into it, get realizations. I was actually told by my mentor, the best way to learn is if you're preparing to teach others. I had a challenge. I remember telling you guys, okay, so I'm going to spill the tea a little bit. I was telling you guys that once things open up, I have activities for you guys. So the main activity I wanted was to get you guys to learn, understand the Gita, and be able to present it to others as if you're giving your own course. And so the idea was when you guys get to come to the man, I could say to the few of you guys, go through each and every chapter. And on the School of Bhakti, you guys would be the ones teaching the Bhagavad Gita to new people. I just spilled the tea right there, boom. And I got permission from my seniors, so I know it's possible. And I'm gonna be getting you guys. And I know your names now, I'm in the group chat. Y'all ain't gonna run away from me. And so actually you guys are gonna be presenting the Gita to others. I'll get you guys to do chapter by chapter, you know? And then you guys can explain and ask, when you ask questions, you can answer to dive deep. And so the best way to do it is if you guys read the Gita, go through it, ask yourself questions. If you doubt something, ask and we can answer it and try to, you know, dive deeper. But yeah, go through the Bhagavad Gita, go through Bhagavatam, and if you got spare time, go through all the other books. Papa produced like over 80 books, bros, you know? So there's so many books. And as someone said, if you read all these books properly, by the time you're saying you properly read them, you'll be like 80, 90 years of age. You know, so we've got a lot to read. We've got a lot of time. Take advantage. I hope that helps, Casey. Hare Krishna. But yeah, go for it. Another question came, what should we do if we feel like we are losing faith in Krishna because it feels like he never cares or listens? Why does he give problems to the good people? Okay, so these are two good questions. So the first question is, why do bad things happen to good people? Someone can be like, yo, man, these kids are born in Africa. They reach 2 years old and they're just dying. Why would, if Krishna is an all-loving God, why would Krishna be doing that? You know, we're seeing in places like in Arab countries, like at the moment, there's this whole thing in Palestine where, you know, all these people are being killed, you know, and it's so painful. You know, you see young kids, they know nothing but bombs, you know. We're very fortunate actually in our lives, like, you know, we've lived such sheltered lives. These kids, all they know is the sound or the noise of a bomb. If they don't hear a bomb, they're like, what's going on? You know, it's like a whole different world. So why do bad things happen to good people? For us to understand this question properly, we understand the concept of karma. What is karma? Karma is it's interesting. One person describes karma as what happens when we try to find happiness in the wrong way. When we try to find happiness in the wrong way, we're bound by karma. The right way is through devotional service, and devotional service is our karma. There is no karma that comes from devotional service. But because we don't have much of this understanding, all our life, we've been choosing to find happiness in the wrong ways. And so karma binds us. And so you might look at it from a situation where, oh, you know, this 2-year-old kid, 3-year-old kid is suffering. But from the length of the thread of their karma, the suffering that they're experiencing now is as a result of their previous activities. So it's not really based on the body, but the soul and the activities that it did in different bodies guarantees it certain types of situations in its present time. So, you know, some people have done actions in their past that allow them to go through certain positive things in the future. Some people do certain actions that allows them to go through difficult things. And the difficult things will not just be in human life, but also be in different animal lives as well. So, you know, some person probably created a sin and then in the next life, they were born as a mosquito. And if you're born as a mosquito in India, the first thing that the guys in the room are gonna do is they're gonna try to kill you, right? Gonna take like a spray, like buzz up the place. That's because you're burning off the different karma because of the things that you've done. So that's why bad things happen to good people. We're responsible for our situation here in the material world. The only difference is we might not remember everything that we've done, But then the devotee understands that whatever is happening to me right now is as a result of mercy. So you look at yourself, even if in your life, whoa, I live such a good life. You know, I get to go to school every day. You know, I'm clothed. I'm never hungry. I've never gone to bed saying that I'm starving and my mom and dad didn't give me any food. You know, I get to hang out with my friends. I've got a phone. I've got a laptop. I can do anything. The devotee starts to see that, wow, all these things are happening because of the mercy of Krishna. And also because in my past, I've rendered activities that have allowed me to be in such a merciful position. So the devotee wants to engage that in serving or connecting with Krishna. And so that's why instead of you guys going on Facebook or TikTok on your laptops, you guys are on this Sangha trying to connect deeper with Krishna. And so you're utilizing the things that you've gotten positively from your past to serve Krishna. And so it also becomes more purifying and more advantageous for you. I hope that answers that question. The other question was, what do we do if we feel like we're losing faith in Krishna? Because, you know, at times it feels like he's not there. It's like, this blue boy with the flute, where he at though? Like, I'm here struggling with my essays. But where you at, G? I need you, bro. Why you ain't pulling up to help me out? At times it does feel like that at times, doesn't it? We need Krishna to feel Krishna around us. We want to feel like this. And if we don't get any reciprocation, if we're chanting and we don't feel anything, then it's like, Krishna, are you really there? Or are you just part of the storybook that I've been reading? You know? And so the best thing we can do is keep on surrounding ourselves with devotees. That's one thing. Who can remind us. So you see how you have this chat and you've got your friends. You know, if you're saying, oh, I'm struggling in my Krishna consciousness, I know, you know, Adi or Jamika is going to pull up for you some nice poetry quote that tells you, you know what, just carry on going. Don't worry, Krishna's got you. You know, Adi's going to pull up another comment, you know, Anu's going to throw something in there. You get a phone call probably from, you know, from Niam asking you anywhere I can help. The devotees become our security blanket. So every time when we feel like we're struggling, we always go to our friends who are also in Krishna consciousness and get them to gas us up a little bit. At times you'll notice you're feeling down because you're feeling alone, isn't it? So you're also encouraged, come to the temple and do some service. Like I see these guys, we ended up chanting some rounds with Niam and his squad. Like I think one round we ended up chanting together, like I think it was 2 weeks ago. This Sunday when you guys pull up, I definitely have to see you. I didn't get to see them last week, but this time I'll get to see them. And anyone else who pulls up, you just let me know. And then in the time slot before my service, I'll make sure I come and see you guys. But yeah, and we connected on the holy name. And I remember even for me, it was rejuvenating. Some guys didn't have their beads and they were like, no worries, we're gonna chant with our apps. They got their chanting app. Others were using their fingers to count. And I just felt, wow, they're doing anything and everything to chant the holy names of Krishna. That's amazing. They could have been home playing Fortnite, but they decided, no, we're going to come and do some service for the Gokulananda. And that's so attractive. That's amazing. And that, you know, that inspires me. So whenever we're feeling down, we come to the association of devotees and they can help us. Another thing is always reading the scriptures as well. But at times that might be long. But if you can, read the scriptures, you know, remind yourself the essence of the teachings. And that even though Krishna is not looking like he's there physically in front of your eyes, he's going to come through. He'll manifest in a different way. He manifests as prashadam for you. So if you're having that prashadam that you like, you can remember it's Krishna. Krishna says, I'm the tasting water. So every time you're drinking your water after your gym game or whatever, you remember that's Krishna. After you're having your fortnight match, if you just take a sip of, you remember that's Krishna. If you're chilling with your friends and someone says something and you remember quickly, Krishna says, I'm the cause of remembrance and forgetfulness. That's Krishna. If you're doing your test and you forget something, that's Krishna. You can remember Krishna through anything because he's actually there. But that can also be difficult, but we try. The main thing is that we're trying to cultivate this consciousness. And the more we keep on trying and pushing, Krishna reciprocates. He's an OG like that. He wouldn't just leave you hanging. If you're trying sincerely, he always helps. And so it makes it difficult for your faith to be killed. I hope that helps. Another question that came, oh, there's some questions coming through. Oh. Jamika asks, how can we fully absorb the knowledge from sacred texts and philosophy and comprehend with what it is truly trying to teach or raise awareness of? Booyaka. Intelligence 101. How do we, the main thing is we're trying to get the essence. To fully absorb the knowledge from the sacred texts, we have to engage with the sacred text. For example, if I want to know what Anuj likes, I have to keep on having a chat with Anuj, right? And asking him different things. Yo, so what do you like to do in the weekend, bro? You like coming to the manor? So I know he likes coming to the manor. So next time I want to hit him up. Yo, let's go to the manor, bro. So I know that could excite him. You know what I mean? The more you want to engage and deepen your relationship with something is directly proportionate to the extent through which you're relating with that thing constantly. So if you want to go deeper in Prabhupada's books, then you have to force yourself to engage with Prabhupada's books. If you want to go deeper in Kirtan, then you have to do more Kirtan. You have to dive into it more. You have to hear about other people's opinions on the same thing. So, you could probably, call Smeet and be like, yo, hey, Smeet, I was reading this verse in Bhagavad Gita. Can you just tell me what your reflections are? And then you get one reflection from Smeet. Then you call KC and KC will give you another reflection. Then you call Janavi and Janavi will give you another reflection. Then you have all these different reflections and it's deepening your individual understanding. So that's why, like, I was asking, what does chanting do for you guys? And I asked two people to explain. And so you both gave me an extra reason above my own as to why chanting is fantastic and important. So even in my life, I can know that actually it can give this benefit of making one's day better, increasing one's mood, purifying one's consciousness, like that. So we have to engage with it more, hear what other people say about the same knowledge, and try to churn it. Prabhupada, he gave us the essence of these meanings of the scriptures. So if we read what Prabhupada says and deepen our understanding of it, then we can get the proper realization based on that. I hope that helps. Another question that came. I got a question from someone asking about Lord Nrsingadev and Nrsingadev Chaturdashi and who he was and what he did. Ooh, I love this pastime. Lord Nrsingadev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, exhibiting anger towards those who are hurtful towards his devotees, exhibiting anger towards something that is stopping us from progressing in our spiritual life. And so the context was, there's this OG kid known as Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was chilling in the womb of his mumsy. And while he was in the womb of his mumsy, this sage came and was chatting to his mumsy about spiritual knowledge. And Prahlad Maharaj was so spiritually inclined that in the womb, he could get this knowledge. So Prahlad Maharaj, when he got out of the womb, he wasn't crying. He was like, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. He got out fully self-realized. But his dad was Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu has two meanings. Hiranya means gold, Kashipu means bed. So Hiranyakashipu is a person who just liked to sleep around and hoard a lot of wealth, money, and sense enjoyment. But his son is a pure devotee. So this guy is like, hey, I'm the boss. He got a boon from the demigods that nothing can kill him. I'm immortal. I'm super powerful. He would raise his eyebrow and the entire universe is shaken. But then he got a son who's a pure devotee. So he's chatting to his son and he's telling his son, look at me, I'm a boss man. Can you see I've got all these things? I have so much wealth, so much, all these people, they're living under my care and under my rule. And then his son is like, Prahlad is like, yo, Papa, I get what you're saying, but the truth is, you're subordinate to Krishna. You and the Supreme, Krishna is the Supreme. And then this guy is like, what are you telling me? What are you telling me? I'm the Supreme. And so he got so angry that his son is deriding him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He tried to kill him. Imagine that. Your own father is trying to kill you because you're serving Krishna. But every time when he tried to kill Prahlad Maharaj, he always failed. He always constantly failed because Prahlad Maharaj was fully being protected by Krishna. So he tried boiling Prahlad Maharaj was saved. He tried throwing Prahlad Maharaj on a cliff. Prahlad Maharaj landed like a cat safely on the ground. Tried so many different things. tried putting Prahlad Maharaj in a den where guys could attack him and kill him. But Prahlad Maharaj was praying to Krishna and nothing could attack him. Then his father was like sitting with him one day and he was on his lap and he was telling him, okay, so what did you learn in school today, my son? And then Prahlad Maharaj was like, I learned that there is nothing important in this world than taking shelter of Lord Krishna. And he was like, what? What? Who is this Krishna? Show me this Krishna. Is he here? Is he there? Is he there in that pillar? And he was like, Prahlad Maharaj was like, he's everywhere. He's Antaryami. He's in every. He's super soul. He's in every atom. And so he says, he's in every atom. Is he in this pillar? Is he in this pillar? And he's like, yeah, of course he's in the pillar. What are you talking about? Then he goes and he strikes the pillar, and out comes Lord Nrsingadev, fully in his glories, roaring, half man, half lion, holding the club, lotus, and disc, and still ready to fight with Hiranyakashipu. And he appeared in the morning and he fought Hiranyakashipu all day to play with him like he's a little baby. And his roar was so loud. Hiranyakashipu was so scared, he was fighting with his eyes closed. He was like, because he was so scared of Lord Nrsingadev. And so the essence of this pastime, obviously Lord Nrsingadev completely obliterated Hiranyakashipu. But the essence of this story is that any struggles we have in our spiritual life, any struggles we have trying to go connect deeper with Krishna, if we pray to Lord Nrsingadev, he can remove all those impediments to make it easy for us to dive deeper. You might be having this struggle, this problem, that problem. But if you pray to Lord Nrsingadev to help you remove this problem so you can connect closer to him, he will. He promises he will do it. So that's very much the essence of that. I hope that helps. Dylan was adding, then again, to add on that, when you pick a flower, which flower do you pick? The most beautiful, right? It's the same in this situation. Krishna picks the most beautiful and kind-hearted souls to come and stay with him. Wow, that's powerful. Dylan, wow. Jai, thank you. Casey asks, does karma take intention or consequence into account? So there's different steps of karma. So if you perform an activity, let's say you perform a sinful activity, for example, papam, you'll have manifested karma based on your activity, and you might also have unmanifest karma that would happen in the future, And then based on that activity, you've also got an imprint in your consciousness that would make you want to perform that activity again. So Krishna will look at both your intention and consequences of your activities. The intention behind your activity will breed some certain result because that intention develops the intensity by which you perform an action. So for example, if your intention is to steal something to help somebody else out, you have this strong desire to help someone, and so you're going to tactfully steal to get this to become something successful. But because of your intention, you will get some result out of that. You will get some karmic reaction out of that intention. Is your intention pure? If it's pure, then you don't get any reaction. But if it's not, if it's to protect someone or something material, then you will get some reaction. And then after you've done the stealing, let's say you stole a watch from somebody else, you sold it. This person is distressed throughout their time. Oh, I've lost my expensive watch, You don't tell them. They go to the police, and then the police looks at the CCTV camera and then says, my boy KC, that's the guy who took the watch. So that's another karmic reaction for your action. So that's karma for the action you've committed, And then also there's other things that will come about it. You'll be on the news, you'll be on the Sena Nights group. You're like, oh guys, let's chant around for KC because KC started stealing things and we want him to stop stealing, That would be also another reaction, how you perceived by the world, your relationship with the people around you. And all these are karmic to some extent based on the activities that you've done, like that. So all those things are factored in. Krishna will factor in what you've done, your intention behind it. Some people have good intentions. And so if your intention is pure and it's unchanged of anything selfish, then Krishna will probably nullify you from getting a bad reaction for the betterment of your devotional life or for your life. So, but he factors in, everything is so intelligently balanced. So that's why we're encouraged to perform activities in accordance with what the scriptures are saying, pro what Krishna likes, pro what the devotees like. We ask our seniors in Krishna consciousness, is this the right thing to do? And if we get a green light from them, then we're safe, we're protected, like that. I hope that helps. I don't know if anyone else has any questions. I see, oh, Jamika with the poetry. She just had a poem inspiring her based on the whole concept of karma. So we might even end up reading that. Or I might even get her to read it. It would be even much better. But anyone else have any questions, any comments, anything else? Any topics you'd like me to be addressing in the future? Or anything you might find interesting? It would be nice to know also. Before though, I will randomly open up this book and do the magic of the power of the scriptures. I told you definite. Actually, I could ask someone to give me a random page number. The total of this, the number of pages are 280. So the first person, just drop a random number on the chat. 347. All right. Adi did it. No, wait. 347 isn't Adi, bro. 65. Okay. Adi, there's only 280 pages, bro. So 65. So let's see what's on page 65. Okay. So this is interesting. This page is actually the start of a chapter, chapter 5. And it's talking about one of the 10 offenses. One of the 10 offenses is to consider the names of demigods such as Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the holy name of Lord Vishnu. Although we recite these offenses every day, we should always try to develop deeper levels of understanding by reflecting on their meaning and sharing our reflections with others. This offense, considering the demigods to be independent of Krishna, is not so common amongst present-day Vaishnavas, but we have clarity because we have clarity about the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This mentality seems to be more prevalent among people who come from cultures that do not clarify the actual identity of God. Wasn't I asking people here, like, some guys probably, they had a lot of different rituals at home, shivlingams, this practice, that practice, and they never really got to understand the essence of Krishna, right? And some people put their hands up. Connected. The lack of clarity may lead to confusion about the uniqueness of Krishna in his most direct manifestation. If one comes from a background that highly emphasizes the importance of the devas, one will then have the tendency to think of such devas as supreme or on the same level as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So basically, we're being told actually Krishna is superior to the demigods. At times, they talk about the trilogy, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, as if they're the same. But actually, Vishnu is superior to Brahma and Shiva. Brahma is the creator, Vishnu maintains, and then Shiva annihilates. The maintainer is not just maintaining himself or maintaining the manifestation, he's also maintaining Brahma and Shiva. And that's the power of Krishna, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'll open another random one as well. So Adi correct, he says 147. So I'm going to look at 147 real quickly and let's see. So in 147, it says, you said that we can perform devotional service in a mechanical way. How do we transform this? This is that. So some people might have this struggle. I'm practicing Krishna consciousness, but it's very much mechanical. I'm just doing this, or wake up in the morning, chant my rounds, go to school, come back, chant around, go to bed. This is how Maharaj answers this question. He says, this is not such a problem. Most of our activities in our neophyte stage lack realization and taste at first. But as our understanding increases, the botherations will decrease. Then our appreciation and taste will naturally increase. However, it is hard if we are dishonest and too selfish. If we lack honesty, we will simply pretend, which can cause problems. If we are too selfish, we will not be able to hear or understand the importance of or necessity of certain aspects of the devotional process. Instead, we will simply consider our own desires and wants. Interesting. So we need to clear being dishonest and being selfish. And if we do this as we're practicing, our realizations of Krishna can become more. So we'll notice at times we are usually dishonest. At times we ask, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm doing great. Have you chanted your rounds? Yeah, man, I chanted them in the morning. But the reality was, you woke up at midday. At times we're like this because we always want to present ourselves positively. So even just by reading that random page, we understand that, we have to be honest. We have to not have any reservations in our mind, have a pure, clean consciousness. And from that consciousness, we can be able to deepen our practice, and then these things stop becoming a ritual. Like, oh, I'm waking up, I'm chanting my rounds and doing this and that, but then it starts to become a deeper experience, to gain more meaning from the same mantra. You'll notice that you're chanting, let's say 16 rounds, and a stage, for example, like Sutapa Prabhu, this Swami, that Swami, they're also chanting 16 rounds. So you're both chanting 16 rounds, but what's the difference? The difference is the deepening of the realizations. So we want to try deepening our realizations, making it much more deeper, stronger, and more powerful for us. And if we do that, then it becomes more real and we can connect to Krishna much deeply. Jai, I hope that helps. I hope that was useful. I don't know if anyone else has any questions. Otherwise, I can finish over there. Thank you guys so much. Probably we can get okay, so Adi's saying, okay, Adi's put one question. He's like, so suppose if a guy chants one round and realizes, but a guy chants 16 but doesn't realize, yeah, it's still possible. The only difference is with what intensity you're chanting. But the main thing is, obviously, a person who's trying to be sincere will try to chant the ideal, the best, the proper standard. And so there'll be more, if situations allow, they'll be able to chant. If they commit to 4 rounds, they'll chant their 4 rounds. Even if you commit to 1 round is enough to give you real realization. It's actually possible. 1 round can give you deep realization on your practice. So it doesn't matter. Whatever you commit to doing, if you carry on doing it with intensity, you'll be able to unlock more things, which is magical. And I know all of you are unlocking some deep realizations, one way, shape, or form. Thank you guys so much. I know this was like our final session. I decided to make it a Q&A, something a little bit different. I'm so happy that I got to go with this mini journey with you guys. So grateful to guys like Niam and Anuj who decided to engage me. I'm in no way qualified. I don't have any qualifications. I don't know much. You guys know much more than me. So thank you for tolerating me and listening to me share all this nonsense that I know, thinking as if it's the best knowledge, even though it's everything that you guys already understand. Thank you for tolerating and being patient with me. Like today I blundered so much at the start. I apologize. Please accept my humble obeisances, guys. And yeah, hopefully we'll get to link up and have a much better time in the future once things open up. And it won't just be by Zoom. We can actually get to do it in person. And that will be powerful. Really, really be looking forward to that. I see my boys yawning. It looks like it's time for him to take a chill, time to take a rest. I'll probably board him today. So we can finish there. I can let, if possible, Jaimika, can you come on? And probably we can finish off by having you share your wonderful poem. I think it's a powerful poem. I was actually looking at it, and that's quite cool. So probably we can share your poem, and then we can finish there.
Yeah, sure. So karma is the result of our actions, which is portrayed through a reaction. We question all the bad things that happen to us, blaming Krishna immediately. Where is the trust? We would be nothing without the Supreme Lord, thinking he's killing us of badness with a sword. Why do we have such thoughts like this? All we want is eternal bliss. The tears in our eyes are cries for help, but the outcome is a simple whelp. Deep down, the Paramatma inside us shouts loudly, but we only see disgust. This material world, cold, temporary, the taste of Godhead, just like a cherry. When will we find such joy? The spiritual world, permanent and filled with joy. I simply pray to Krishna for this, to allow me to resist all these material bonds and help me see the right from wrong.
Chai, thank you so much. That's amazing. You've actually got such a powerful talent there. You know, you should definitely utilize it and like share with other people. And guys, actually, this is not just for Jamaica, but for everyone. Whatever skills and attributes you have, use them in service. You know, if you're good at playing Fortnite, create a Krishna conscious Fortnite, bro. If you're good at whatever you're good at, you know, if you're good at sports, try utilizing it in Krishna consciousness. How create like games and activities that you can do with devotees to deepen your connections. If you're good at science, try create an understanding of Krishna consciousness as a science. Everything you're good at, utilize it in serving Krishna, you know? And if you do that, then as Jamaica prays, you'll be able to resist all the material bonds that help you, and that will help you see the right from the wrong. Powerful. So thank you so much for sharing that, Jamaica. That was powerful. Thank you so much. And I'm sure you're inspiring others here as well to kind of give in something from their skills and their attributes. Hare Krishna. Really appreciate it. Alrighty, so I'll hand it over to our boy, Mr. Anuj, to close the session for us. Thank you, my boss. So sorry for boring you today. Hare Krishna.